So a while back when I mentioned observational studies and experiments and stuff like that, I said, we're going to talk about this more. And then we took a little bit of a pause, but here we are. Here we're back with some more definitions, some more examples for experiments. So we got a little bit to read. Let's just kind of read it and kind of parse the information as we're reading. So, chia seeds and weight loss. So if you don't know, chia pets are those terracotta figurines that sprout fuzzy green hair. I could pull here. Let's pull one up, right? Why not? What could go wrong if I just pull one up right now? Chia pets are these things. Okay, Bob Ross right there. Yeah, random Google search. This could never go wrong. Okay, these are chia pets. And they made the chia plant a household name, but chia has also gained a new reputation as a diet supplement. Okay, there was one study in 2009 where a team of researchers recruited 38 men and divided them randomly into two groups, treatment or control. Again, those are real big things to think about. Treatment or control. Experiments. Treatment, who's getting the thing that we're trying to test. Control, who's not getting it, so we can compare. All right, and it's also very important that these are randomly divided. Okay, we can't just recruit, we can't just put all the really fit people into one group and all the less fit people in another group, right? It has to be random. They also recruited 38 women, and the women were randomly placed into two groups as well, very similarly. So we have an experiment with a treatment control group, but we're also looking at the difference, like we're separating between the men and the women. Maybe it affects one differently than it affects the other. Or maybe we just want to, they have different groups, of course, right? So one group was given 25 grams of chia seeds. This is going to be our treatment. All right, this is the thing that we're testing. Treatment doesn't always have to be medical treatment, right? Chia seeds, dietary supplement, it's what we're curious about. Twice a day. And the other was given a placebo. Placebo has to do with the control group. So the subjects all volunteered to be a part of the study. And after 12 weeks, the scientists found no significant difference between the groups in appetite or weight loss. So let's talk about the treatment group or treatment groups first. Okay, so the treatment groups are the people receiving the treatment, which we mentioned was the chia seeds. So that's going to be the 19 men. And that's supposed to be an and 19 women taking the chia seeds. The control group is the group that's not getting the treatment. It's the group getting the placebo. So again, it's going to be the 19 men and 19 women receiving the placebo. Has blinding been used? So blinding, here, let's go off to the side a little bit maybe. Blinding is either single or double blind. So single blind means the patients or the subjects, let's say subjects, the subjects don't know. That's what single blind means. Whereas double blind means the researchers don't know either when they're looking at the data. All right, when looking at data. Why does that look like I wrote boking? The LO looks like a B. Let's try to fix that. There we go, much better. Okay, so let's kind of look through this again and kind of analyze this. Okay, so they're divided randomly into groups. They're either getting a treatment or a placebo. So the question is, do they know whether they're eating chia seeds, or do they know whether they're getting a placebo? And so, it'd probably be pretty hard to masquerade something as a chia seed. So I'm going to say that they do know. I think they know. They know. So, no. Blinding is not used. And the interesting thing about a placebo is even if you know you're taking a placebo, the placebo effect still exists. You can read more about that. It's really fascinating. So has a placebo been used? Our answer to that is going to be yes. All right. Has random assignment been used? Yes, they were randomly assigned to these groups. That is very important. Right, the 19 men in treatment were randomly selected. That's very important. And same with the 19 women. All right. And again, we don't want to sort people into the treatment and the control groups. They have to be randomly put into each group so that we don't get any patterns. Has blocking been used? If so, what is the blocking variable? We haven't talked about that yet. So let's write a definition in red. And that's going to be splitting into groups or separating to compare the effects on different subgroups. And so this has absolutely been done right here, right? We're looking at, we have 38 men split into two groups and 38 women split into a treatment and control group as well. So the blocking variable rather, is going to be men versus women. Okay, so their gender. All right, what is the response variable? Response variable is what is interest measured, which was appetite and weight loss. These are the things that the researchers were looking at for their conclusions, the things that they were measuring. That's not how you spell appetite, is it? It has two P's. Nice try, Jason. I'll just fit one in there. Right there. All right. Can we generalize the conclusion to the population at large? Yeah, probably. Kind of a small sample size. 38 men, 38 women, but they would when it said there was no meaningful differences, they would account for that sample size in making that conclusion. So yes, this is an experiment. This was a controlled experiment, a randomized controlled experiment. We're good to go. All right, so last little summary. If we want a well-designed experiment, here's the things we have to think about, okay? So the control group and the treatment group are formed through random selection, right? We can't just pick, all right? Can't just pick according to whatever. It has to be random. All right. The environment of the control and treatment needs to be as similar as possible, with the only difference being the treatment. That's the point of a control group. Okay. If they're not, then it's not really a control group anymore. We want a placebo to be used with a control group whenever possible. And again, as a reminder, the placebo effect exists even if it's known that they're getting the placebo. And then we should do some level of blinding in addition, but you can't always do it. So who knows? Like, I don't know too much about chia seeds. In this one, when it was blinding, maybe it was blinded. Maybe it is, they did like very, very similar seeds and you couldn't tell the difference. Kind of need a little bit more information to know for sure. And sometimes these things can be a little bit ambiguous. try to write the problems to be not ambiguous at all. Yeah, maybe they were put in a pill, and so you weren't actually like you weren't eating them like sunflower seeds, right? So maybe you were taking them in a couple different pills. I don't know too much about the situation to say for sure, but things to think about. Okay, and that's experiments.